Mashiach Yeshua, Wakadosh Shawak, Shak Shema, the Holy Seed of Jeshurun, set up our offspring of the Most High, chosen peculiar people, seeking and hoping to keep the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments of faith in the Mashiach Yeshua and walking all the fruits of the Kodash Shawak power, right? Pray y'all seeking the Most High while he's available. Pray you keeping him first. Pray you're not making him jealous, right? Because it said his name is jealous. You're giving him his praise that is due, giving him his time that is due, and giving your whole heart to him. Scripture says we would turn to him with our whole heart, might, and strength in these last days, right? So I'm gonna do a video right quick because I'll share some things about some dreams I had. One of them this morning. Had two this morning. I'm gonna just talk about one of them because it's relating to a couple dreams that I've been having about this, right? In fact, let me read a scripture. Let me read a scripture. Start this off, right? Exodus 18 and 20. It says, "And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws, and shalt show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do," right? So these laws, statutes, commandments are titled as work, right? Good works, is when you keep the law. Evil works or wicked work is when you transgress the law, right? Now, I'm telling y'all, I've been having these dreams that I'm doing construction for like a couple months now. And I'm trying to be like, okay, what's going on, right? And so I got some revelation today because today I had another dream this morning that I'm doing construction, right? And the last dream I had before, I got some understanding, right? And I want to say this as meek as I can. And this is actually piggybacking on that scripture I just read. Because if any of y'all are familiar with that scripture, Moses had separated chief men that fear the Most High, elders of each tribe. Of the congregation of Israel, and made them leaders over tens, over 50s, over hundreds, and over thousands, right? So they can bear the burden of teaching the law, statutes, and commandments and his ways to the Most High's chosen people. Because before that, he was sitting in front of the whole congregation from sun up to sundown. And his father-in-law Jethro was like, man, you're going to wear yourself out trying to do that, man. Let them bear the burden with you, right? And so with this meekness, the same meekness Most High one that can be looked upon at Moses, right? I've told y'all, and y'all know this is proof from looking at my videos. I have never put myself like I'm the leader, I'm the boss, follow me, nothing, right? I just believe I'm supposed to put the word out, and the revelation of the Most High's word and his spirit bear witness should tell you what you're supposed to do, right? And I've always put myself in that position, like, I'm not the boss, I'm not the leader. But the dream I had, I don't know if I told you about it. The last construction dream I had, I think that's when I told you about it. It basically told me I don't get to fall back. And I am an instructor in this gathering. Why do I say it like that? Because what I was doing in that construction job, we were getting processed in an orientation to go through what some usually called site specific, which they tell you the hazards of the construction site, usually a refinery, what certain hazardous materials are in this unit, that unit, don't go over in this area. When you see the ground with certain painted colors, that's a radiation area, or this area, you know what I'm saying? And so in that dream that I was in, I was directing people, go over there, and what you need over there, what you're going to need to do next, and when you leave there, go there, and then they're going to stamp your badge. I was just showing them where to go, right? But I was more or less showing younger people this. I was more detailed with them. With the older people, it was like they kind of knew already. So I was just like, yeah, we good, man. I already did that. You know, you got to go over there. Yeah, I'm finna go do my whoopty whoop. And they will go. But in the dream, when a young person, you know, which would be classified as an apprentice in construction, when he walked up, it's like he grinned, he excited. I don't know what to do. I'm excited from where I gotta go. I'm like, calm down, bro. All you gotta do is go over there, you know. So when the Most High showed me in that dream, he showed me, man, you're gonna be a leader in the direction of this gathering. So I'm like, okay, right? You're not gonna be like a participant or a follower. You're gonna be leading some stuff here. That's what I'm preparing you for. So I'm like, okay, Father, I'm not gonna run from it. I'm not gonna speak against it no more. This is what I'm supposed to do. Okay? And so, with that, the dream I had last night, right? Mind you, the scripture I just read, right? It says the law is the work that we must do. So I was able to connect. Okay, the work is not done. It's still going on. And I'm not equating this to keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Of course, we got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. I'm talking about the work that Paul, you know, was doing when he's going all over the earth teaching the word, right? And he didn't, like, remember in the scripture says he took not John with him to go do the work because John left. He got irritated with John when he was out teaching in I think it was in one of the Greek isles or Greek nations or Greek provinces. John left him, so he, you know, said that he didn't want to take John with him to do the work, right? So I'm in this job, and what we were doing is we were in construction. If you're working on a building, if you're working on a site there's nothing there, you're obviously constructing something from scratch and you're building something up fresh. But if there's a site that's already built and they want to decommission it, meaning they want to tear down and rebuild it new, or just take out some old pipes and put in some new pipes, you got a portion of that job is called demo, right? Short for demolition. In my dream, we were demolishing a certain component, but the component consisted of 4 different crafts that had to participate because as a union worker, we don't do the other crafts work. So the component was consisted of pipe fitting elements, which is what I was, and it had Boilermaker components, which there was a Boilermaker with me, and there was an iron worker component, and the iron worker was with me, and then there was some electrical, which the electrician was with me. So all 4 of us was right there, right? It just happened this way. We demoing this component, and I'm talking with the iron worker and the Boilermakers. He's taking his part off. I see him beating with a hammer, beating these big old stakes that's over the pipe so I can get unloosed. He beating his pieces out, and I'm sitting there talking with the iron worker. Then he move out the way, and the iron worker come in. He get to beating on the iron of the structure is sitting on. So when I move the pipe, it don't kick back or kick up because of the pressure on it. So he's relieving the pressure. And then the electrician goes in. He starts taking off the wires, so there's no energy. What we call stored, not stored energy. What we would call there's no power to it, right? So the component can't start up and start cutting people, chopping people up or whatever while we taking it apart. So there's no electricity going through. He makes sure he disconnected, and then I do my portion, right? And it was kind of a trip because, mind you, in union work, everybody does work separately. You know, be working together. Like, that's what the union's about. Everybody doing their work separately. But, of course, obviously, we all need to be side by side for this operation. And we were all foremen. All of us were doing this. We were all foremen. We weren't individual workers of our craft that got sent to go work. We were all foremen. So it was like we was all leaders. And I was like, dang, this is crazy. And this is what I perceived. And in the midst of doing this job, so I'm running it down to y'all. And I'm going to break it down metaphorically, especially what this was. In the midst of doing this job, somebody said, hey, y'all, it's something in the sky. It's something going on over here. So we came out we were in this big old structure. I think we were in an oil refinery. So we came out from under the structure of all these pipes going this way and that way and all kind of stuff, and got out into the open where we could look up. And when we looked up, the first thing I saw was men on these jetpacks. Okay, I don't know if y'all familiar. They got these little jetpacks for men, and they can kind of travel around in the air at a low altitude. But for some reason, these dudes was way up there, and there wasn't no parachute on it. They weren't paragliding. They were flying. They were flying in these things, and they had their hands on these little throttles with their right hand and their left, and they was flying around. And for some reason, they had these bars, like a bar around them, as like if they bumped into something, like it was a little, low level protective, guard on them. That's what I would say, low level protective guard. It went all the way around under their feet, all the way around. It wasn't touching them, but it was all around them. And the whole sky was full of them, y'all. Whole sky was full of them. Now, what started happening is they started shooting out these things out of whatever they were shooting out of. And whatever they shot out of them started exploding like fireworks. Okay? They started exploding like fireworks. So I'm like, so everybody's like, oh, they doing a show for us. Everybody's like, oh, they doing a show for us. Mind you, in my mind, I'm like, they tricking y'all. They making y'all think they doing a show for y'all, man. These dudes finna start attacking us. This is like how, person I know prophecy and woke, he like, nah, I wasn't fooled in the dream. I'm like, hold on, these dudes about to start attacking us. What is this? Mind you, a refinery is a place, is a war target when it comes to warfare. That has something to do with the production of the company, production of the country for raw materials, for gas, power plants, gas stations, water filtration plants, Department of Water Power, electrical companies. All these places are targets. Nuclear power plants. All these are fair game targets when one country goes to war with the next. So I'm looking up like, man, these dudes about to start attacking, right? And so, some kind of way, that part of Jimmy just kind of went away. But a majority of the men, some of them weren't shooting things, but the majority of them were shooting up to them where the whole sky, it was looking lit up with fireworks, you guys. Now, I'm going to tell you, mind you, when I woke up a little bit later than I usually wake up today because, Haya woke me up, middle of the night, so I had a prayer with the Most High last night. Not that long, but enough to where when I went to sleep, I woke up this morning, a little bit later than I did. So when I got up to get into my prayer, So I'm like, oh man, I'm supposed to be praying, according to the word, we're supposed to pray before the sun comes up when it's light in the sky. All right. That's when the morning is scripturally, when it's light in the sky, but the sun is not over the horizon yet. And so when I got up, it was real close to that. So I got up and just jumped into my prayer. But right when I started praying, most I started bringing to my understanding, I gave you a dream. So I was like, oh, wait, I got to think about it. So after I prayed, I started thinking about the dream. This is what the Most High telling me. All right. The construction dreams he been giving me is telling me that there's work to do with the body of a Mashiach, with the remnant, with the grape, with those that he have chosen by the election of grace. There's still work to do. And it's not a lot, not a little bit. It's a lot, okay? Because there's a gathering, there's a worldwide gathering, y'all, that's supposed to take place. A worldwide gathering of a remnant that's supposed to take place. Somebody's supposed to be coordinating something. Somebody's supposed to be a beacon and a light for the whole world. This is the truth, all right? Mind you, I'm saying this with meanness and fear, y'all. Me and my daughters, we're the only ones in this wilderness. There's brothers here in Jordan, but they're not in the wilderness with us. But we the only ones right here. Most High show me. All of us that were on that job site working, right? All of us were foremen, represent all the different camps right now. It's different camp. We all got a camp here, a camp there. We all Israelites. That's the common ground. We're all doing the work of the Most High. That's the common ground of all these different crafts that were on the job with me. The iron worker, the electrician, and the boilermaker. But we all weren't working together until we came to do this one component and decommission it. Y'all understand? So what the Most High showed me is that You got to start speaking, because I was talking with each, craft throughout the work. He said, you got to start speaking to them and telling them that we got to be working together and we got to come together to do this work. The work was what? To decommission this piece of component. Now, what I can say that was is the understanding of something being taught to them that wasn't true. Namely, coming out of Babylon. Namely, the name of the Most High, that's not true, because he said he's gonna change that one when he bring all the Yashua that he gathered to the wilderness. He said that one of the things he says verbatim he's going to do is take the names of Baalim out of our mouths, and that we're not going to remember him by that. We're not going to remember that name no more, right? But the main thing he was saying is, you need to get at these people, these heads, these leaders of their camps that are all doing this work for the nation, and get this information out and start coordinating this. I'm like, wow, okay. Okay, now mind you, if any of y'all know the expressed characteristic of how a so-called Israelite man is supposed to conduct themselves, it's off, because it's almost unapproachable. It's how, and I said, in a sense of someone trying to bring some understanding, man, most of like don't want to hear nothing. If you're a teacher, if you're a leader, you don't want to hear nothing. Brothers feel like they know. Now, what the scripture say? If a man think he knows something, he knoweth nothing as he ought to know. This is the spirit I'm always in, bro. Anytime anybody bring anything with me, I'm ready to listen. That's like a hobby to me. Like, wow, okay, let's get it. Word. Let's look at this, right? If any of the brothers are honest here, man, I tell you, I've gone into the word with any of them, all of them. That stuff is cool to me. I like that stuff, and so I'm already thinking like, okay, I'm about to be praying, and the Most High, lead me about how this is supposed to go about, right? Just recently, it was a brother that's from one of these prominent camps who had accepted my friend request on the Facebook. My Facebook got hacked. Hey y'all, if there's anything going on the dumb Facebook, man, I got gaffled, right? I got over, man. Somebody, and it was my fault because I was told to do something, before the reward was given, because they said, well, we can't pay people for this until they do this, because if we give you the money, then you could run off, and we don't want to be lacking a individual that can be a commercial for us, or like a testimony for us that our business is cool. So he said, but as soon as you do it, then we'll give you the chips. They didn't give me the chips, but I was just going through the protocol, and brothers end up, or whoever, these dudes, Nigerian Hamas dude, end up hacking my account. And so my Instagram hack, Facebook hack. I look at it as the Most High, I already saying like, these things are about to change, so you don't need to be focused on that. Focus on me for right now. All right. So if anybody hit you about any type of money situation, anything about some cash app money stuff, that's not me, y'all. All right, I'm just letting you know that ain't me, and I got hacked. All right. So what I was saying, so as far as talking to these brother, he's a real high, in position in his respective camp. And so I'm like, maybe I should start with him, talk with him. And I've actually spoken to people at their organization about it, and I didn't get no pushback. It was just like, okay, well, yeah, we don't believe that, you know what I'm saying? But, it was good talking to you. I was just like, okay, and I kind of left it alone. People that were on the super chat, they got to hear, they got to listen, and I feel like, okay, at least that seed got planted in all the listeners, right? So as far as that portion of the dream, that's what I believe was happening. Now the portion of when we walked out from under instruction, looked up into the sky, this is what I'm seeing. Mind you, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all something. On this side of the earth, they do things when they express how they feel and they want to make a point. They do things here memorially, meaning they always pick a significant date in history. They always pick somebody's birthday. They pick the anniversary of somebody's death. That's what they do over here. All right. And I'm not talking about Jordan. I'm talking about the whole Middle East, even Russia, even on this side of earth. They do that. They do these things. Now, why am I saying that? Y'all heard me talking about the people flying around the air shooting fireworks. So everybody in America know about the time everybody do fireworks. Y'all know this, right? Now, what is the significance of that holiday as far as what it's supposed to mean when they told everyone to celebrate it? It's the freedom, it's the liberty gotten. It's a gift given to them by France, you know, the Statue of Liberty, which we know was not just the implementing of an idol, you know, in the country, but it was it's everyone's taught this is when America gets their independence, right? So when you look at the meaning of that holiday, I look at it like, well, knowing how the people think over here, it will be very symbolic of them, and in the realm of how they react to do something to America that would take away or attack their freedoms on that day, on 4th of July, right? I'm not saying nothing's going to happen on 4th of July. There was no words or letters that said to me something on 4th of July, but that's what I'm perceiving when I see the dream, that something might happen as far as an attack on the 4th of July. Now, with that, I want to look at everything. We know in the scripture that there are some celestial beings that are described in the book of Ezekiel that would fly around, and they had these wheels inside the wheel following them around, right? I started thinking about that too, because of the men that are flying around with their ring around them. And I'm like, okay, I can't say that this is the Most High, right? Sending angels down, because that ain't in scripture to be happening to Babylon. So when I continue to meditate on it, it's like, there's going to be a spiritual attack. Is it going to be the increase of the release of certain spirits through what? Through all these hydro colliders? You know, the one we are most familiar with is the one CERN in Switzerland and France. Is it going to be a high release of demonic activity going on in Babylon? Is that what's going to happen? Right? And so these are the things that I meditated on and still meditating on right now, because I know what I saw in that dream, right? And these dreams these dreams are vivid, you guys. I'm like, this stuff is detailed, right? There was another part of the dream that I remember, and I haven't really thought about it deep because I can see kind of what it was. And I don't know if it's connected, but I know this part, I got to understand it right away. So I just want to get on with that, you know. But there was more to the dream. If it be the will of the Most High, man, it'll come back to me, you know, and I speak on it. But the question I got is, you know, Yasharala, you know, and anybody watch this, you know, we gotta ask these questions, and this need to be on the forefront of our mind, man. What does Scripture say? Let's just read these last two scriptures so we can have this on our minds, man. Like, we're in the truth, all right, but we're not supposed to be in the truth divided. The truth is supposed to bring us together, right? That's what it's supposed to do. What we say, even from the beginning. What does the scripture say, even from the beginning, all right? This is Genesis chapter 49, verse 1. And Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, called him to his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. When are we going to start gathering together, Yasharala? The time is now, right? What does Zephaniah say after it says the same exact thing, right? It tells you why the Most High said gather together. Let's read it. I'll excuse these flies, man. They're ridiculous. It's super hot out here today. When it gets hot, they get super active. I don't know what they be, but these boys is active, right? Zephaniah. Hold on, y'all. Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourself together. Yea, gather together, O nation, I desire. That's Yasharallah, right? Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the shaft, before the fierce anger of Ahijah come upon you, before the day of the Most High's anger come upon you, right? There's supposed to be a gathering of Yasharallah, not just this camp. Okay, me being out here, the most people would classify from other camps that, oh, that's a GOCC brother or knockoff or runaway. I ain't never been a part of GOC, right? Never been a part of GOCC. But it shouldn't be looked upon that way as a camp's doctrine or someone being in a certain situation. This is scriptural, right? So the things in the scripture that define why a remnant, right? 2 from a city, 1 from a family, is supposed to leave Babylon. It has to be brought out, right? It has to be discussed so this gathering can commence, right? Reading verse 3. Seek ye Ahijah, all ye meek of the earth. We're supposed to be a meek people. We're not supposed to be unapproachable. We're not supposed to be, ready to fight at all times. All right, you can have your character, man. I'm telling y'all, man, the hardest dudes, man, it's a saying in Cali, bro. The real ones move in silence. You don't have to be barking, right? At all times, man. We're not supposed to be moving nothing till our king get back. So we got to get ourselves together and understand what the scriptures mean about who we are. Seek ye Ahijah, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. We got to seek to be this way, right? It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Most High's anger. That's what the Most High have done up to this point. And we're not done, right? But right now we are hid. Right now we're in the wilderness. Right now we are out of the reach. Anywhere we go, I feel like anywhere we go, Most High, our adversaries can't do nothing because the Most High with us, man. He our shield, man. We in the midst of, bro. These dudes telling me the other day. You know what tell me the other day? Bro, it's a hyena running around out here. They've been telling me this probably almost a year now. And nobody killed him yet. But they got a gang of sheep and goats, so they kind of spook like they don't want a hyena eating their animals. They keep telling me, and I'm like, oh, like, dang. Y'all gonna get him? Like, telling me like I'm a Judah. And I'm gonna go run him down and throw him up in the air and kill him. You know what I'm saying? Scriptures say, man, the Most High control the teeth of the wild beast, man. These are spirits created for vengeance. So I know that hyena ain't finna do nothing to me in my flock. I know that, right? So I'm not bothered, man. As long as we fear him, keeping the commandments, putting our faith in him, and walking in the fruits, walking by the Spirit, I'm not worried about none of this carnal stuff, right? So I encourage y'all, man. Mind you, the gathering was never going to be a mass gathering, right? Matter of fact, it might be another scripture I got, right? I think it's another scripture I got. This gathering is not a mass gathering. It's a gathering of a few, right? And we have to be meek within ourselves. Like, you know what? I'm going to talk to the Most High. I'm going to talk to my brethren. And it's not about, if I'm being tossed to and fro. You're not tossed to and fro if you never got the understanding the revelation. Okay, this word is infinite. You can't feel like, oh, I already know everything. I'm good. I don't need to hear nothing else. Don't let the enemy tell you and use the scripture. Don't you know the enemy used the scripture to tempt Yeshai? He said, didn't the angels say they're going to bear you up if you fall and you don't dash your foot on a stone? He used the scripture to try to deceive Yeshai, right? But the scripture does not contradict itself. So Yeshua had to check him back. Say, man, you're not supposed to tempt the Most High. I'm not supposed to jump myself off of this on purpose, right? So if there was something taught to you out the scripture and it was deception, then you just have to take that. Okay, but this scripture says this. And when you look at the scripture in this way, okay, now I know that's a wrong understanding I had about that. And now I got the true understanding, right? This is the mindset we got to be. Again, the scripture says, "As a man think he knows something, he knoweth nothing else as ought he think he ought to know," right? So we always got to feel like it's something more we can learn and bring to the table, right? This is Isaiah chapter 27 and verse 12. It says, "And it shall come to pass in that day that Ahijah shall beat off from the channel of the river unto the stream of Egypt, and ye shall be gathered one by one, O ye children of Yasharallah," right? this gathering is not going to be everybody all at the same time. He going to grab this family, one from a city right there, two from a family right there. That's how these people out here. All of us, none of us came out here all together. None of us. We came out eachly one by one. One by one. Right? So we just got to talk about this, man. Right? Babylon will not endure till the return of Mashiach. There will be no catching up of a chariot of anybody alive in that country before the missiles hit. That's not in the Bible, you guys. I'm telling y'all the truth. Only people that will be cut off from there is dead corpse. Dead corpse that will be rose first when the Mashiach comes. That's it. We got to talk about this. Where the wilderness is, we got to talk about this. Not any barren land in the whole world. That's not it. The wilderness is a biblical term, and it's defined in the Bible. So, be the will of the Most High. Y'all pray for these dialogues to happen. All right? Y'all look for these dialogues to start happening. If y'all got connection with any of these camps, funnel them to me. Give me my information. I'm ready to have the discussion with them. I'm ready to talk about these things so this gathering can commence. All right? This is what the Most High say, bro. All right? I'm telling y'all, I'm trying my best to put myself in position to do what the Most High said need to be done. I'm not trying to make myself to be something, man, at all. If y'all know me, man. If y'all know me, man, like I said, I'm living my faith right now. There's stuff on my plate right now. But the work don't stop, right? When we get in Yasharallah, that's the rest that he got for us. Until we in there, it's time to work, right? We're a work in progress, man, until we get home, right? So, again, I thank y'all for all y'all prayers. Thank y'all, man, for even checking out the information. I share to Yasharallah so they can understand, what the wilderness is. If I got to go over it again, I'll go over it again. It's one of the first videos I did, but it's on the channel so you understand what the wilderness is and that we are to be gathered here, a remnant, right, to get the new covenant put down in our souls, right? So with that, pray you have a blessed day. Pray y'all, Most High visit y'all, seal up dreams, give you visions, interpretations. Don't ignore his word when he give it to you. And seek him while he's available, right? High praise, glory, and honor to our power, Haya Shua Haya, by Hashem Mashiach Yeshai, Kwam Yasharallah. Love y'all. Shalom.